All right, Tesla update here on the 13th. So let's get ready for Monday and look at this pattern here. I haven't talked about this, but I've seen it mentioned a few times on social media. So inverse head and shoulders, another way of looking at this. So if we're looking at this as an inverse head and shoulders, that would mean this right here is with this. This right here is with this. So we're currently on this move right here. And you can see it double bottom. Does that mean that that's the bottom? Well, the thing is, this right here went to 182. The bottom here was at 195. So we went $13 less here. So I would expect something similar here. And look where that would take us to. That would take us to 200. And that's exactly where we have support from the 200 EMA. We have weekly demand. We have 3-day demand. We have weekly 50, I think. And so basically what I said last video, I wouldn't be surprised if we just come down to 200 this week. If it bounces, I'm still expecting another move down. I don't think it's ready to go up yet. And it could still come down here all the way to 178, even if it's not a inverse head and shoulders. The B wave would end somewhere around 175 to 180. At the max down here at the long-term trend line around 160-ish. So I do think there's more downside here. Let's go to the daily and look again one more time. You have the 50 right here. We're below that. 200 down here, and you have a gap fill right here. And that's the last gap on the chart. There's a gap way down here, but I don't think we're going all the way down to $147. So this is the gap I'd be looking for to fill. And once that's filled, technically it could go up. Depends on how much, if the market pulls back at all. But it could also do this, though. It could end up coming down here at 200, bounce, and make another move down. That would turn the whole thing into an ABC move, because this has gone down so far already. If it comes straight down to 200, then it's probably 5 waves down. So that could be the bottom, or that could be just the A wave. But either way, I'll be buying somewhere in this area right here. That's a buy right there. Not necessarily a buy right here, actually, yet. If it gets above the 50, then maybe. But you could just get a bounce and then early on Monday and then another move down. So we got to watch for that. As far as timing goes, I would expect this wave to be done sometime around the election as well. Another reason why I think it's going down farther. So I've given you 3 or 4 reasons why I think we're going down to 202. If it does bounce early in the week, then that probably means this is a wave 1. And then maybe it bounces into earnings, and then earnings bring it down. I think it's very, very unlikely that that is the bottom right there. That would just be kind of weird. We got a really impulsive move, very sideways move for a long term, get a really impulsive move down like that. Doesn't really make that much sense. Could it be finished if it hits 200? Yes, it can be finished if it hits 200 though. So 200 could be finished and then go straight back up to 300 or so. But if it comes down here, I'm expecting like 350 after that. So a bunch of different reasons why this is a buy at 200. Not necessarily a buy here yet. Although if it breaks like 225, you could probably ride this up to 238. So I'll be watching this to see if it ends up making a 5th wave down, or if somehow it finished right here. It looks to me like it has another move down though. 3-day demand starts at 208. Let's find out what happens. I would expect this to potentially be done by earnings, because I can't think of another catalyst that's going to take this up way higher. So if it goes like this into earnings, then I think earnings are going to be probably not very good. This will be below the 20. 20 is way up here at 244. So if we go up here into earnings, I would expect them to move down. So we'll see how it goes. Wedge between the 50 and the 200, expecting this area to be a buy zone right there. If it comes up here, it's not a buy zone in my opinion yet. If it were to get above the 20, then maybe it is a buy then. As far as overall patterns go, again, this probably is ABC. This right here is probably right here, the same thing. We're probably making that. So one more wave up after that. The bottom here was at 138. The bottom here was at 101. $37 higher than this is like 337. So maybe something up in here. And it just ends up being like that. So made it pretty clear where I think a good buy is. Somewhere starting around 200 on this gap fill is a good buy, but it could technically go all the way down here to 160. Got to be careful, but I would start buying in here. Not yet, but we're almost there. So we'll see what happens. I guess last thing I can look at is the timing of this. That took about 3 months. This is sitting on about 3 months. We're about the same time to tank down here for this move. And that's perfect going into earnings, and earnings can be the catalyst to go up here to 350-ish or so. So that's what I see. After that, it's going to be interesting because this looks like that. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. But I think there's definitely upside in the short term. This could be finished by January or February, I would say. So that's my thoughts on Tesla. Leave me a comment, like, subscribe for more updates, and catch you in the next video.